Now, what is this nafs? There's a lengthy discussion amongst the scholars as to nafs and ruh. Is it the same thing? Are they different things? I don't want to get very technical or academic in these discussions. But in many ways, nafs and ruh are the same thing. They're one and the same thing in many contexts. Think of it this way. There are two aspects of our being. There is the physical aspect, and there is the ruh, the spiritual aspect. There is a soul inside us, which is the essence of our life. It's our life essence. When that life essence is introduced into this physical body, we become a living being. When that life essence, that ruh, is extracted from this body, that equals death. Just like this body has many needs, the ruh also has needs. People came and asked the Prophet ﷺ about the ruh. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ. So he responded, as the Quran says, قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. This ruh is from the command of my Lord. This ruh has come into existence by sheerly by being commanded by Allah to exist, and thus it existed. This tells us a couple of things about the nature of the ruh. We know that the human body is made from the substances of this earth. And you will note that all the needs of this human body also come from the substances of this earth. All our physical needs are fulfilled by the things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid out for us in this planet. Our food, our sustenance, our clothing, shelter, transport, everything comes from substances of the earth. The ruh is not composed of any of the earthly substances, and therefore it also cannot be nourished by any of the earthly substances. The worldly things cannot do anything for the ruh. It has come from the heavens. It has come from above. All its needs are fulfilled around things related to the world above us. Somebody wants a strong ruh. There is nothing in this dunya that can strengthen your ruh. The ruh is strengthened through those deeds, acts, behaviors that have come from Allah, because this ruh has come from Allah. So the word amr, min amri rabbi, this is extremely relevant and pertinent here. As the ruh has come directly from the command of Allah, its needs will also be fulfilled only through the commands of Allah. Now we've gotten this out of the way. I don't want to get into too much of a philosophical or an overly spiritual conversation with yourselves. That is not the objective of this course. So when we talk about purifying the nafs, we're talking about this ruh. Now this ruh takes on different types of tendencies depending on what we expose it to. It has inside it some very beautiful tendencies, but it can also receive negative tendencies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by this nafs, by this ruh. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. He swears by this nafs and how He has put it together. فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. He has inspired it with the tendency to be rebellious and the tendency to be pious. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. The one who purifies it, meaning from those tendencies of rebellion, from those tendencies to transgress and to break commandments, the one who cleanses it from those tendencies and allows the good tendencies to settle in, this person has succeeded. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. The one who mixes it all up, in other words, allows it to be tainted with all of those negative tendencies, this person is ruined. In the other verse from Surah Al-A'la, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى. That person who has purified himself has succeeded. So the Quran is telling us in both of these verses, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا and قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى, that our success revolves around purifying this nafs. In other words, our success revolves on us incorporating the process of tazkiyah into our lives and completing it before we die. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. On the day when none of our worldly belongings or our children will be of any avail to us except for that pure heart that we bring and present to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tazkiyah is not something that should be left for some Sufi people to sit in some zawiyah and some khanqa and they do their thing, and this has nothing to do with Sufis or Sufism or tasawwuf. This is a process that every Muslim needs to undergo. And probably towards the end of this, maybe on the third day, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll talk a little bit about tasawwuf. We'll talk about it. What is its relevant to this? But for now, we need to understand that this is for every single Muslim man and woman. It's a process that we need to complete. Why? Because none of us are perfect. We all have those tendencies. The tendencies of fujur and the tendencies of taqwa, and our job is to make the tendencies of taqwa prevail and dominate.